Good afternoon, everyone. In the last lecture, we got introduced to the wireless LANs. We have seen what are the different characteristics of wireless LAN. In that, we have seen like advantages, disadvantages. Then we have seen the factors that we should consider before designing the wireless LAN product. Okay, and finally we saw the two types. Just got introduced with two types of wireless LAN which are implemented all over the world. Okay, so now in today's lecture we will see these two types of wireless LAN that are standardized by IEEE. Okay, and standard is defined as IEEE 802.11. Standard is defined as 802.11. Okay, so we'll see the system and protocol architecture also of this particular standard for both types of wireless LAN. Okay, so the first type was infrastructure based network. If you remember the previous lecture, the first type was infrastructure based network. Okay, so it is standardized under IEEE 802.11. So on your screen, you can see the diagram of this particular diagram is of infrastructure based wireless network or wireless LAN, in which the different entities are shown. Okay, so as you can see, there are several parts. One of that is denoted in the center, and this is called as a distribution system. Okay, then there are two basic service sets. एक BSS है, okay, that is user access or access points भी है, user access points and other LAN. Okay, so other if you have seen that IEEE local area networks like Ethernet or WireLANs, it is similarly same kind of LAN it is. So 802.x is denoted by that one, that is 802.x is your normal LAN. Here you can see. Okay, so what are the jobs of all these? So that we will see in this particular lecture. So first of all, we have to remember that in infrastructure based network, the communication between user devices are happen through only the access points. कहाँ से होता है? Access point के through. The direct communication between two devices is not possible. Okay, so every small part of wireless LAN will be associated with the access point which is connected to the distribution system. Okay, so every small part of wireless LAN will be associated with their access point, so that all the devices in that area should be able to communicate with each other. Okay, so starting with each and every entity, first of all we will look at the station STA. It is written like that, STA. Okay, so that is the user device. Okay, so station is a terminal, so it may be a laptop or it may be a mobile device also, it may be a PDO also, or it can be anything, portable device. Okay, which is able to wirelessly access the medium contact to the access point. Okay, and for accessing or for wirelessly access the medium to the access point, so you required one STA. Okay, so if a user has to send the data, it has to first contact the access point. To contact the access point, you required the station, that is STA or terminal. Okay, so that is your mobile terminal. Okay, then each access point forms a small area in which it is providing these services. Okay, so as you can see, this access point is covering this particular area. Okay, in which it is providing the wireless services. So now this area is called as a basic service set, that is BSS. That is a second terminology. So in this area, all the users which are present in this area, here only a single user is shown, but if you have the other users also, so that users will be the part of this area and will be using same radio frequency. So in short, I can say that each access point provides a set of radio frequencies which will be used by the users throughout the basic service set. मतलब एक BSS में terminals और STA जो रहेंगी, that is station terminals, will going to use the same frequency set. Okay, so that is the BSS. Okay. Then the access point. Okay, so what is an access point? An access point is nothing but a type of router which is integrated into the wireless LAN. So BSS is nothing but my wireless LAN. So access point is integrated into the wireless LAN and the distribution system. Access point kya karega? Access point will be the distribution. It is connected to the distribution system and the wireless LAN. Okay. So both systems are connected via the access points, that is the distribution system and the BSS. Okay. So after that, then there is a portal.
Sir, we can't hear you.
Okay, I was disconnected. So again, I have rejoined. So we'll see the further part. Okay, can you able to see the screen? Anyone just reply?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So we will see the further part. Okay, here you can see the portal. I'll tell you what is that exactly. Okay. So portal, as you can see over here, okay, it is nothing but the bridge which connects a distribution system to other local area network. So S802.X is a LAN, wired LAN. So that wired LAN can be connected to the distribution system via a portal, which is nothing but a bridge. Okay. So these local area networks may be wired networks also. So it is nothing but a bridge which will connect a wireless LAN to other LANs. Okay. So now the last part is the distribution system, because we have seen what is access point, we have seen what is BSS, what is STA, what is portal. Then the last part which is remaining is the distribution system. The distribution system connects all the access point together. So no matter how many access points are there, so all will be connected together via a distribution system. Okay, so interconnection of a network to form one logical wireless LAN, which is called as now a ESS. Okay, so ESS is equal to the summation of all the BSS. So एक BSS हो गया, then this is the second BSS. Likely we have multiple BSS. Okay, and BSS plus access points, BSS plus AP access point. Okay, so extended service set, ESS is known as extended service set. Okay, is summation of all the BSS plus access points. Okay, so all this part inside of the distribution system will be a wired one, because these are connected with each other via a wires. Okay, through the wires, access points will be connected to the distribution system. So only part that is wireless is nothing but your BSS. Rest all are वायर्ड वन. तो यहाँ पे BSS ही एक रहेगा जो कि आपका वायरलेस है. रेस्ट द अदर पार्ट इज वायर्ड ओनली. ओके, सो as you can see, to make this network work, you need a several types of infrastructures, and that's why it is called as an infrastructure based network or infrastructure based wireless network. Okay, so remember, all the communication within users or among the users happens through only the access point. Okay, and direct communication is not possible. That I have already told you, that whenever, if suppose this particular tab and this particular tab wants to communicate, so they have to communicate through the access points which are connected, which are provided to their BSS. Okay, they cannot directly interact with each other. Okay, so let's now look at the second type of wireless LAN. Okay, that is ad hoc network, or ad hoc is nothing but a temporary network which is formed by the users without needing any infrastructure. Okay, so for ad hoc network, you will not see any access point given here. Access points are not present in this case, so neither a distribution system is present. So this type of networks, as we have discussed previously, that can be formed when there is a moment of crisis, or there is a situation of emergency, or wherever we don't require any kind of backbone network available. Okay, so it allows you to have a direct communication within a limited range. It allows you the direct communication within a limited range. So as you can see in the diagram, there are two different networks are shown. Okay, this is one particular network and this is the other network. Okay, and these are word as IBSS. इनको क्या कहा जाता है? IBSS. This is IBSS 1, this is IBSS 2. Okay, and which is nothing but independent basic service set. It is nothing but independent basic service set. Okay, again, similar to infrastructure based network, this service set has a group of station, STA1, STA2, STA3. Okay, or users using the same radio frequency. Okay, so if you want to communicate from, suppose, this laptop, okay, to this particular mobile, suppose, it is not possible because they are using the different radio frequencies. Okay, so that is one of the drawback of this ad hoc network, that you are not allowed to communicate outside your independent basic service set. So these three can directly communicate because they are belonging to a same service set. So these two are also able to communicate because these two are belonging to the same basic service set, that is IBSS2. Okay, so that is one of the drawback here. So all the users which are using a mobile device inside an independent basic service set will use the same frequency. Okay, that you remember. So radio frequency for communication. So now direct communication is possible between any of the devices in that particular service set. Okay, so that is not required in the infrastructure based network. So that the particular factor here we need to consider is the terminals which are used inside the network must be capable of routing as well. Okay, so that is we have not seen in the case of infrastructure. So station is nothing but your terminal plus router. So station is not doing only a terminal ka kaam, but it is also doing the work of router also. Okay, That means it does the work of mobile terminal as well as the routing capabilities. Okay, so that is an important difference from infrastructure network to the ad hoc network. Okay, so also in the previous slide, the mobile user can communicate with, suppose this particular mobile user will able to communicate with this user through the access point only, or access point distribution system. Okay, and through the second access point and so on. Okay, but in ad hoc network, this particular laptop cannot able to communicate with this particular tab because of the changing of the radio frequency. Okay, so this is the change in infrastructure based network and ad hoc network. Okay, so now as I said, suppose in the previous diagram, if you see, let's say this particular LAN has a radio frequency of 10 megahertz, suppose. Okay, for example, uh, or this particular second LAN is having 110 megahertz, suppose. Okay, still they will be able to communicate because of the presence of wired network or access point and the distribution system at their back end. Okay, so the communication is happening between one access point to the, or access point distribution system to other access point distribution system. Okay, so we will see what type of protocol will be required for making this communication possible in the later part of this lecture. So as you can see in the infrastructure, you will require wireless protocol for the basic service set, whereas wired protocol for the distribution system. Okay, as well as for the access point. So both type of protocols will be needed for infrastructure based network. But in the case of this ad hoc network, only wireless networks are present. So no infrastructure is present in the ad hoc network. Okay, so only wireless protocols will be implemented. So there are not standardized as a separate unit because all the nodes within the independent basic services should follow the same routing protocol in order to make the communication possible. Okay, so they need not to be standardized, and everyone can mutually agree with each other that they will use the certain protocol and they can communicate. Likewise, the communication is happening in the case of ad hoc network. Okay, so standardization of the protocol is made for infrastructure network. So that's why we are going to see IEEE 802.11 protocol architecture. Now, as you can see in the diagram, here we are showing a communication between a wireless device. See, here you can see the wireless device, that is a mobile terminal. Okay, and a fixed device, that is a fixed terminal, that is an infrastructure based network. Okay, so there is a fixed terminal. So this fixed terminal is connected to a internet. Okay, through a bridge, and it is connected to the infrastructure network, and infrastructure network is providing one access point to reach this mobile terminal that can access the network. Okay, so this is the connection setup. So either this may be the transmitter and this may be the receiver. Okay, or vice versa. Okay, so this may be a transmitter and this may be a receiver, or fixed terminal may be the transmitter and the mobile terminal may be the receiver. Okay, so now if you see the protocol stack for communication, the upper three layers of mobile terminal, okay, the upper three layers of mobile terminal and a fixed terminal also, both are having same types of layers. Both are having same types of layers. The application layer is there, TCP layer is there, and IP layer is there. So they are not standardized by IEEE because users are free to choose their own protocol in this aspect. Okay. Then downwards, if you see, if you comes downwards again, so two layers are, one is made up of LLC and MAC. Here you can see, out of which LLC is not standardized because again we will see the reason later on. But one part of LLC, that is the DLC, that is a data link layer, that is called as a MAC, is standardized, and physical layer is also standardized. Okay, so IEEE 802.11 standardizes only two layers. One is the MAC layer and the other one is the physical layer. Okay, so you can see, since this is the wireless part, you will see 802.11 MAC, 802.11 physical layer. Okay, at access point also, so access point implements both type of protocol, wireless as well as wired type of protocol. Okay, because this connection is wireless. Here you can see the connection is wireless and this connection is wired. So यहाँ पे wired रहता है, यहाँ पे wireless है. So 802.11 is the wireless, 802.3 is the, okay. So you are using or access point using 802.3 protocol. So 803 is refers to the Ethernet standard. Okay, so for wired we are using 802.3, for wireless we are using 802.11. so here this particular thing is fully wireless. So here we are using 802.11 MAC layer, 802.11 physical layer. This is fully wired, so we are using the 802.3 MAC layer, which is a Ethernet layer, Ethernet wired layer. This is a 802.3 physical layer, which is a Ethernet layer or wired layer. But here at the access point, we use both the wired one and as well as the wireless. So here, these two MAC layer and the physical layers are using 802.11 MAC and 802.3 MAC. Okay, and similarly for the physical layer also. Okay, so for protocol architecture, which is standardized by the IEEE 802.11. Okay, for 802.11 it fits seamlessly into other 802.11 or other 802.x standard for wire LANs also. That means other IEEE standards which are defined for computer networking for wired LANs, that can also be used the same 802.11 standard. So application should not notice any difference apart from lower bandwidth and perhaps higher access time from the wireless LAN. Okay, so just now in the previous slide, I said that the first three layers are common, that is application, TCP, and IP. Okay, why is it? Because this application should not worry how my data will be delivered to the destination. So they are not standardized, and it is left up to the lower layers to handle the mobility and all the delivery related tasks. Okay, and that's why you will see applications will not notice any difference apart from the lower bandwidth in the case of wireless part and higher access time because of the lack of the physical medium, okay, from the wireless LAN. Okay, so wireless LAN behaves like a slow wired LAN. The application believes that they are sending the data over a slow wired LAN rather than wireless LAN. Okay, so consequently the higher layers, because of this, means the higher layers like application, TCP, IP look the same for higher wireless node as well as for the wired node. Okay, so this is the reason first three layers are not standardized and they look same for wired as well as the wireless nodes. Okay, so the upper part of data link control, that is LLC layer, okay, that is logical link control, it covers differences of medium access control needed for different media. Okay, So what is the job of LLC? That covering the difference between how to allow users to access a medium from a different media. Okay. For different media. Okay. Now you can understand. So no. So most of the time in our wireless LAN, media is nothing but the empty space because it is a wireless. So again, no need to separately define standards for LLC. Okay. So one standard can be sufficient for regulating the access as well as the upper three layers, that is the application, TCP and IP layer, that are not changed. Okay. So that means they are not considering any change in the type of medium access. So that's why LLC will not observe any difference, and that we are not defining it again. So in many of today's networks, explicit LLC layer is not visible. Okay. So because of this reason, okay, most of the tasks are done by medium access. So LLC has nothing to do in that regard. So specific mention of LLC you will not see in the most of the today's network. Okay. So let's look at the details of the remaining two layers, that is which are standardized by 802.11. Okay. So we will look now at the functions of each of these layers. Okay. Now on your screen you will see the diagram which comprises of further more parts. Here you can see this is the LLC. Okay. And that is compared to the original protocol architecture. Now 802.11 standard only covers a physical and medium access layer. Okay. Like other LANs do. So that is the wire LANs. So you can see the LLC is not covered in the 802.11. The physical layer, that is physical layer, here you can see it is divided into two sub layers. The first one is called as a physical layer convergence protocol, PLCP, and second is called as the physical medium dependent layer, PMD. Okay. So that is another sub layers abbreviated as the PMD. Okay. So this protocol stack, which is standardized, is again further divided into two parts. The left side of the diagram you can see here is showing you the protocol stack. Here you can see the protocol stack or protocol layers, and the right side is the management layer. Okay. So IEEE defines two types of layers. One is the protocol layer and the second one is the management layer. So in protocol layer, physical layer is divided into two types. One is the protocol layer. So physical layer is divided into two types basically. The one is the PLCP and the other one is the PMD as a sub layer. Then the remaining is the MAC layer. Here you can see MAC layer, which is having the basic task of controlling the medium access. So that means the way in which users will access the medium, then the fragmentation of user data depending on the bandwidth available, and encryption in order to maintain the security. Okay. So that it does, the MAC layer does. Okay. The PLCP layer, in this particular lecture we will see just the general functions of this particular layer. Details of this layer will come in the upcoming lectures. So PLCP layer provides a carrier sense signal. PLCP layer provides the carrier sense signal. Okay. That means it provides a signal which is able to sense whether a medium is free or busy, and such signal is called as a clear channel assessment, or जिसको हम बोलते हैं CCA. Okay. So PLCP layers primary job is PLCP sub layers primary job is to generate carrier sensing, which will be able to provide a information regarding medium availability. Okay, so that can be used by the MAC layer. Okay, apart from that, it provides a common service access points. So that is a SAP, independent of transmission technology. Okay, so now what's the meaning of this one? So now, as the name suggests, is of convergence protocol. Okay, the way in which you can accessing the medium, based on that your transmission technology will change. Okay, so what is the transmission technology here? The transmission technology refers to the type of modulation that is used, or encoding or decoding that is used by the physical layer. So if you are accessing a medium in the different way, so your transmission technology will going to change. Okay, so that is how we are using it. So what does basically PLCP do? So it provides a common connection for all types of medium access layers or schemes and all types of transmission technology. The details of types of transmission technology standardized by the IEEE we'll see in the next lecture. So there are basically three types, and there are several types of medium access mechanism available. So now for each mechanism there will be a suitability of a different transmission technology. So to make them interact with each other, a common access point is provided or connection is provided, and that is called as a service access point, SAP. Okay, so PLCP sublayer provides this service access point for all MAC layer mechanism and for all transmission technology. Okay, so the PMD sublayer handles the type of the transmission technology, that is modulation and encoding or decoding of the signals. So these are the functions of these two sublayers and the MAC layer. Okay, so now protocol layers are covered. Now what are the functions of management layer? Right hand side pe jo hai, and what is the difference between protocol layer and the management layer? Let's see that. Okay, so here, apart from protocol sublayer, the standard specifies the management layers. So there are three total management layers you can see here. The physical management, यहाँ पे देखने को मिल रहा है, physical management, MAC management, and the station management. Okay, so MAC management and the MAC layer. What is the job of MAC layer? MAC layer provides the way in which the medium will be accessed. So that is a free space will be accessed, whether you are using CDMA, CSMA, CDMA, TDMA, whatever medium access method you are using. So that will be decided by the MAC layer. But MAC management layer, that supports the association and reassociation of station to the access point. Okay, so suppose this is my mobile. Okay, now, and this is my access, this is the access point. Okay, so how I will access the air is decided by MAC, and how I will be connected to the access point via wireless type, so that will be decided by MAC management. Okay, so association, that means connection, and reassociation, that means the reconnection in the case of loss of connection of a station, okay, to access the access point, okay, is decided by the MAC management. Okay, और मैक मैनेजमेंट सब लेयर जिसको हम बोल रहे हैं, और मैक मैनेजमेंट लेयर जिसको बोला जा रहा है. Okay, apart from that, when you change your access point, let's say you are currently using this particular access point, but later on you have changed and you have connected to this particular access point, suppose. Okay, then if you are roam towards the another basic service sets, because access point may be handling by the different basic service set. So again, association and the reassociation jo rahega, problems will happen, and because radio frequency will change, or both BSS will going to have the different radio frequency, and that again will be handled by the MAC management sublayer or MAC management layer. Okay, so roaming between different access point is also handled by MAC management layer. So association and reassociation. Why it is so important? Because to provide the security access, or to provide the access point several times. So implies or implements security mechanisms like authentication also. So it controls authentication mechanism also, encryption and synchronization of the station with regard to the access point and the power management to save the battery power. Okay, so as we have seen in the network layer, that routing is different in the case of wireless network because power should be consumed during the routing and that should be as minimum as possible. So to save power, power management schemes are developed and implemented in the access point. So MAC management jo rahega, that handles all these things like authentication mechanism. That means when you connect to the new access point, if it is not open to access, and you will have to authenticate yourself and your data will be encrypted, and for that encryption mechanism is also provided by the MAC management layer. Okay, apart from this, MAC management also maintains a database called as a management information database associated with the MAC management or MAC layer. So that is called as a MAC MIB. Okay, that is management information base. Okay, so this database is nothing but keeping information of all the management related activities in a central location. So MIB is maintained also by the MAC management. Okay, so this is regarding MAC management. Then next is the physical management. So physical management and physical layer provides the type of modulation scheme or encoding or decoding schemes, which type of encoding decoding should be used and is decided by the physical layer. Okay, now the physical management layer includes channel tuning and physical management information based maintenance. Okay, so once you have decided modulation and encoding decoding technique, then if the medium is free, you will try to access the medium, and trying to access a medium means tuning to the desired frequency. Okay, so if medium is free and let's say 100 kilohertz or 100 megahertz frequency is available, and my current radiation is at 97 megahertz, so that is user devices radiation is at 97 megahertz, then to move from 97 to 100 megahertz, you need a channel tuning. Okay, and that is done by the physical management. Okay, and similar to the MAC management, physical management also maintain the database and information database, and maintaining that database is used and done by the physical management. So then finally the station management layer, okay, which interacts with the both management layers and responsible for additional higher layer functions. Now what is the additional higher layer function means here? So that is, for example, control of bridging and interaction with the different interaction with the distribution system in case of an access point. Okay, so what station management does, so how access point is connected to the distribution system, so that will be controlled by the station management. Okay, so this is my distribution. Suppose I have the distribution system, so that will be controlled by the station management. Okay, so sometimes there will be a portal also. You have seen the portal also in the diagram initially. Here you can see you will have the portal also. Okay, which will get connected to a distribution system that will be handled by the station management. Okay, or that is interact with both the MAC management layer as well as with the physical management layer, so that its job is, और स्टेशन मैनेजमेंट का जॉब रहेगा कि दोनों को इंटरेक्ट करना and see the work of MAC management and the physical management. Okay, so this is the overview of the different protocols used in the wireless LANs.